Good Wednesday evening, and thanks for joining us for Unscripted. Many of us at that halfway point through our work week, or if you're watching from home, maybe you're already more than halfway through it as we bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. The work week so far been pretty nice outside. Is it still supposed to be nice tonight?
Yeah, nice night tonight, and of course 2 nights from now it'll be Halloween. I think there'll be a lot of candy getting handed out.
Yeah, always.
Doesn't matter if it's a blizzard or
we'll be
nice.
out there.
That's right. Well, that's still 2 days away. Tonight, a nice clear night, Cody, once again, and even tomorrow, more sunshine expected. We're going on tomorrow about a week now of dry weather for most spots, but it is going to be a little cooler on Halloween. More on that, and a look at the weekend, which will be a little cool too as we head into the beginning of November. We'll take a look at all that a little later.
Sounds good, Joe. Thank you. Looking forward to that. For our top story tonight, every day we're getting updates out of Jamaica on the devastating impacts of Hurricane Melissa there. The Category 5 storm comes at a time where many seasonal resort workers here in northern Michigan were supposed to head back to the island country. Our Allie Baxter shares what these workers are going through as they remain far from home.
It's an island that we can work together and get a speedy recovery.
One of the first people you see when walking through these doors at the Grand Traverse Resort is Shanika Clark.
I love that. This is what I've been doing over the years back in Jamaica. This is like my life, doing customer service.
This is Shanika's second season working at the desk. From Kingston, Jamaica, she's no stranger to tropical storms.
We'll head down to the tropics. There is Hurricane Melissa, a dangerous Category 5 hurricane.
But this one is the most strongest. I've never experienced a strongest hurricane in Jamaica, and I was a bit worried for my loved ones and friends back home.
Her parents, brother, nephews, and aunts were on the island as Hurricane Melissa slowly passed over. Right now, Shanika can only get in touch with her mother.
It's very devastating.
But for some of her other Jamaican co-workers, they can't reach anyone. Now, more than ever, they're leaning on their work families for support.
Emotionally, that's very big on us. It's not much we can do from here to help our family. Yes, we can send money back home to recover the damages and support, but emotional support is what we need right now.
That's where their employers are stepping up, and not just here at the Grand Traverse Resort.
We're not going to let them go and sit in an airport or get stuck in a hotel somewhere, as a connector city. We're going to take care of our own as they are our family.
Liz Ware works for Mission Point Resort on Mackinac Island. She says most of the island's H-2B visa workers are from Jamaica, and many of them were scheduled to leave this week.
We want them here where they can be safe. They have a bed that they can sleep in. We have our team here. Our culinary team is staying later so we can make sure that we have food for them.
Liz says the workers want to get back to their loved ones in Jamaica as quickly as possible.
Think about being hundreds of miles away from your friends and family and not being able to do anything, seeing images on TV, understanding and having been through horrible storms before and knowing how bad it can get, and being here and feeling completely helpless.
There's still a lot of unknowns about what's needed to best support Jamaicans right now. But Liz says there's already plans among Mackinac Island residents to get their Jamaica teams back on their feet.
We want to help everyone in Jamaica rebuild and recover because the Jamaican connection to northern Michigan is a very strong and loved one.
In northern Michigan, Allie Baxter, UpNorthLive News.
Liz says tonight the Jamaica Prime Minister is supposed to make an announcement on when some airports could reopen, but they don't want any of their workers to leave until there's an opportunity for smooth travel. The Emmett County Sheriff's Office is sounding the alarm to bring awareness to several apps that could compromise personal data and be a platform for cyberbullying. Up North Live's Mary Jane Glenn met with a school resource officer to learn more about these apps and why you should be concerned.
Deputy Fisher tells me that the Emmett County Sheriff's Office first became aware of these apps through schools reaching out to them. Fisher says students were using several apps such as Tea on Her, Tea on Him, Meet Me, and Overheard. Fisher warns that on some of these apps there are features such as video chatting with strangers and posting anonymously, and that concerned teachers.
They had concerns that the apps were being used to harass, bully, and post inappropriate things about other students online.
Fisher told me that Tea on Her and Tea on Him was originally created for adults 18 and older. However, she says these apps have spinned into something much bigger.
My understanding of what the original intent was for people who are young adults, college age and up, they're able to use the app to make profiles of people that they're thinking about dating. Unfortunately, that's not how we're seeing it be used in our local area and in our schools.
Fisher says that even creating a profile can put your personal information and yourself in danger.
So even the profiles that kids are making of themselves or of other students, oftentimes they're including information such as age, school, location, full name, things like that, which are concerning by themselves. However, some of these apps for all of the data, all of the information off your phone just to create that profile.
Fisher says that while some of these apps have been removed for violating safety measures, they are never really gone.
What is happening is as these apps are determined to be against, what's allowed on the App Store just based on what they're being used for and their lack of safety measures. There's even a data breach on one of them where people's personal information was leaked. So as that happens, these apps are removed, and because there's money to be made with the app's downloads and the usage, other people are coming out and they are releasing similar apps, just knowing that it'll get picked up where the other one left off.
In an Emmett County Sheriff's Office post on social media, deputies suggest that parents place parental controls on their children's phone and talk openly with them.
So if these kids didn't feel like they had an adult that they could reach out to, their parents or staff at the schools, we wouldn't have been made aware of this issue. So having that open line of communication where they feel they can let you know if there is something going on, if they're being bullied or if someone else is, that is huge with being able to get the issue taken care of.
In Emmett County, Mary Jane Glenn, UpNorthLive News.
Our question of the day has to do with that story. Our question today is, do you monitor what apps your children use? There's, of course, still plenty of time to vote. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now, or you can vote on our Facebook page or our website, UpNorthLive.com. We'll come back and take a look at the results a little later on in the show. Coming up, preparations are already underway for the annual Iceman Cometh Challenge on November 7th. Thousands of riders will pedal from the Kalkaska County Airport and finish 30 miles later at Timber Ridge in Traverse City. This has been a tradition for 36 years and has grown year after year. The Ice Cycle Expo will be held the day before the race at the Grand Traverse Resort. To talk a little bit more about this big event coming up, we're going to invite Kat Pay with the Festival Foundation on to the show, one of the organizers of this event. Kat, thanks for joining us. This is the largest point-to-point mountain bike race in the United States. Can you tell us a little bit about what riders are going to see out there?
Well, the riders, Cody, are going to see a lot of trees, a lot of single track, a lot of other riders, probably some forest animals as well, as they make their way through the beautiful forest from Kalkaska down into Traverse City into Timber Ridge.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, this has been a tradition for a while. Is there anything different or specific to look forward to this year?
Well, the course changes annually. So for the last 36 years, the Iceman Cometh Challenge has changed different parts of the route, going from start to finish. We've started in a few different places and we've finished in a few different places. For many decades now, we have started in Kalkaska and at the airport specifically the last 3 or 4 years. And it's been an incredible start line. Who else can say they start on a runway and race down towards Timber Ridge? The finish is always a little different. It's kind of part of the mystique of the Iceman Cometh Challenge and really a favorite of both the riders, at least I think so, and of the volunteers who get to put it all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who haven't been to one, whether it's as a rider, spectator, or volunteer, what's the atmosphere there like usually on the day of the challenge?
The atmosphere is, it's electric. It really is. It's so much fun. The riders always tell us that they love coming into the celebration zone and hearing all of the spectators with the cowbells, banging their hands on the Corplast signs on the fence, and really making all the noise for all of the riders coming in. We have over 4,800 riders that are riding the Iceman Cometh Challenge and around over 600 on the Slush Cup, which is the smaller version of the Iceman. It is 9 miles. And then we have the Snow Cone also happening, which is our kids event. 400 kids that'll be riding a mile or a mile and a half, depending on how fast they want to go and how far on those pedal and balance bikes. So there's a lot of energy in Timber Ridge. There's about 10,000 spectators that'll be out there enjoying beautiful northern Michigan outside. There's fire pits, there's food trucks, there's of course Cold Bell's beer at the finish line, and it's an incredible atmosphere. Bring the family, enjoy Mother Nature has to offer in early November.
Yeah, I love it. And the different events, more than just one challenge. And it's also more than just about one day. I know fundraising is involved with this, and I know Tart Trails Trailblazing Tomorrow is something that's you guys are raising funds for. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I will tell you what I can. So the
Yeah, sure.
Iceman Riders are a very, very generous organization group. The Iceman and the Iceman Riders have helped donate towards various nonprofits over the years. Tart Trails is one of the great recipients. This year and for the next few years, we have committed a total of 50,000 to be broken up over the next couple years towards that project, Trailblazing Towards Tomorrow, to help them with their initiative of getting a permanent structure out on the trails to also help the Northern Michigan Mountain Bike Association. So Iceman is honored to be a part of it. We love to be out on the trails, and we love to encourage more people to do that and continue with their great initiative to support that.
Very cool. Now, are there still spots available for any of the events that are coming up?
That's a great question. So the Iceman actual race, the full traditional Iceman, is sold out. It has been full registration for several months, but you can still get in on the juniors if you are of that age, and junior riders are up to age 19. You can do that. Or then we've also got our Slush Cup still has several openings available. And as I said, that's a 9-mile course. It starts and ends right in Timber Ridge. And those registrations are available at iceman.com.
Now, I mentioned earlier, this has been a tradition for 36 years. What keeps an event like this going for so long?
It's really the people. It is the riders that come back year after year. We have several that have done all 36 Iceman Cometh challenges. And as I said, the race changes annually. So it is a challenge every year. It started with the idea of could people on mountain bikes get from Kalkaska to Traverse City? Well, the answer is clearly yes. And for 36 years, they've continued to take on that challenge and make it happen. It's the riders, it's the volunteers, it is the Brown family. Steve Brown started this event 36 years ago. It is all of them who still come out. And it's everyone who loves trails, mountain biking, and outdoors in Northern Michigan keeps this event going year after year. And we could not be more grateful to be the stewards of the event. The sponsors, the volunteers, they all make it happen. And we're just here along for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. While we have you here, what's your favorite part about the challenge or the event as a whole?
One of my favorite parts is to thank all the volunteers. I love to see all the volunteers on race day. It's like a homecoming reunion for us. It's wonderful. The other is the snow cone. This is the future of kids on bikes, and this is incredible to watch. It is the cutest thing on two wheels. These kids have the streamers, they have the bells, they are ready to go, and they are ringing their little bells on their bikes all the way around the snow cone track. The other amazing part to see is our riders who've been doing this for years cheering on those kids. We have 400 little snow cone riders that will go embark on November 8th at Timber Ridge. And you watch these riders who've done it for years cheering on these kids. There's nothing like it to watch what the future holds.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us and talking a little bit. That was Kat Pei, CEO of the Festival Foundation, putting in part this Iceman Cometh Challenge coming up. It's on November 7th, getting started from the Kalkaska County Airport. Well, I feel like a broken record. It's been absolutely gorgeous outside. Coming up, we're going to talk with our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, about how long that's going to stick around and what your Halloween may look like. Keep it here.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back to Unscripted here in Northern Michigan. It's been a beautiful first 3 days of the work week as we bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. Joe, now we have Thursday tomorrow and then Halloween coming up. Are these nicer temperatures here in Michigan going to stick around for a little bit, or are these nice days?
Yeah, well, I think one more day tomorrow,
Okay.
and then Halloween won't be bad. It's just going to be a little cloudier, couple showers, some 40s probably.
But as we talked about earlier, the kids are going to go trick-or-treating. They're going to find a way to make it work.
It doesn't
They'll get real
matter what the
creative.
weather is. That's right. Let's take a look, though. I do want to jump down briefly to the tropics once again. That is Hurricane Melissa. This is a 36-hour loop as it crossed over Jamaica, then Cuba. It is now north of Cuba, heading into the Bahamas currently. Let's see the latest data on Melissa. There it is. It's actually weakened quite a bit. If you recall, 2 days ago, this was a Category 5 hurricane as it crossed over Jamaica. It is now weakened to a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Winds of 90 miles per hour. This continues to move to the northeast at 16 miles per hour. And then here's the track. The thoughts really on this have not changed, but there's where Melissa is heading. Well offshore of the U.S., so no impacts there except some high surf. And you can see the path, and this will slowly weaken as it heads out into the Atlantic. All right, back home. This is earlier today. Our UpNorthLive Skyview drone over Leland and Fishtown. By the way, my son is working 1 block from there right now, where that video is taking. Dishwasher. We're at the restaurant. Anyway, this is, my kids go to school in Leland. So here's a look at the beach there. Beautiful day today, some sunshine, a nice afternoon and evening, and we'll probably see more of that. Well, we're going to see more of that tomorrow. Temperatures are dropping off. We're in the 40s and 50s. The cool spot right now is Rogers City. You're down to 41. Meanwhile, Manistee is at 56, the temperature there. And then here's our satellite picture. It's dry. There's a little bit of rain up northeast of Sault Ste. Marie. The big rain, you got to go down here. You can see all that rain down in Kentucky, Tennessee, up into parts of Indiana and Ohio. We're not really going to get much impact out of that system here, however. Stormcast showing that. More sunshine tomorrow with a northeast wind. There's the rain creeping up to our east. Now, if you're heading by chance, I'm sure somebody watching maybe is down toward Detroit. Some rain there tomorrow, but not here. And then clouds fill in, and then Friday, you see these showers. Nothing real heavy, but a couple, especially closer to Lake Michigan, maybe around trick-or-treating Friday evening, and then some of these will hang on into part of the day on Saturday. But I'll run out the rain totals. There's not going to be a lot. The heavy rain to the east of us, better chances for rain. And rain totals here, a lot less. And a quick look at Halloween more specifically. Highs upper 40s to around 50, cloudy with some showers. That wind on Friday will be out of the north. All right, the extended forecast, there it is. You see that chance for a few showers, but again, nothing that's going to measure up to a whole lot of rain. And if you haven't heard, a reminder, we do turn our clocks back this weekend, Cody.
Yeah, very nice. So thank you, Joe. And you mentioned that Halloween forecast. It's also a time for some high school football playoffs. To break down some of those games, we're going to meet with our sports director, Harrison Beebe, after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Unscripted. A couple days from now is Halloween, but it is also we're going to see some high school football playoff matchups. To talk a little bit about that, we're going to bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe. Harrison.
Yeah, Cody, you know, it's funny. We actually talked about both Halloween and the playoffs with both head coaches at Traverse City Central and Traverse City West ahead of this historic first ever meeting in back-to-back weeks. They've met in the playoffs twice before, but back then, last decade, the regular season games were played in September, so it was like a 2-month gap between matchups. This time, back-to-back weeks, and West won by 1 point a week ago. Central, no doubt, wants to get that win back. West wants to keep the wins coming. Here's what both head coaches had to say about the rematch.
You know, you wait all year to play in one game, and then all of a sudden it's right back in your face again, and it's it's a crazy thing that it happened, but we also kind of knew it was probably going to happen, and so our kids were very aware of that. We were definitely excited to walk away victorious with the win on Friday, but we kind of celebrated that for about 24 hours, and you know, whoever we were going to play, our kids were going to be focused and ready to go for whatever team that was.
Yeah, our kids were ecstatic when we saw the playoff selection show on Sunday night. It's a chance to play at home, even though you're the away team, the chance to play your crosstown rival again, even though you just played them. And we felt like we didn't play our best football, and you get a second chance, another opportunity to beat them. It's just a great feeling for our guys.
How do you balance a huge game that everybody is, for the most part, locked into, but also acknowledging this is Halloween night, so there might be subtle distractions to have to manage?
My 6th grade daughter is probably the most disappointed the fact that, you know, we're not out trick-or-treating, but you know, luckily Thurlby Field's right, you know, close to a great neighborhood where she can get a lot of trick-or-treating done ahead of time, and maybe she can bring me a snack too before pregame. That'd be awesome.
I know they're excited to do a student section full of just their Halloween costumes. It's going to be really fun for them. You know, I think a lot of trick-or-treaters will be out and about, but, you know, come 7 o'clock, there should be a lot of people in that stadium too. So what's better than having some candy and watching some football, you know?
So, Cody, there you go. What candy, if you had your choice, would you want to have in the stands for a playoff football game?
Oh, man, in the stands, which candy I'm going to. This is a fallback for me, and it might be a hot take. I'm a really big Milky Way guy. That's always been my favorite chocolate, my favorite candy. What about you?
Well, if I'm in a situation like that and I need a burst of energy, I know a Snickers bar, usually, just like the commercials hint at, to kind of give you that extra edge to be yourself. So I think maybe the players will munch on some of those at halftime before or during that big game.
Hey, why not? Thank you, Harrison, for joining us to talk a little bit about that. I do agree with Coach there. Nothing better than some candy and some football. All right, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to look at our question of the day one last time. If you'd like to make your voice heard and vote, you can vote on our Facebook page, on our website, UpNorthLive.com, or if you're streaming with us, you're about to see the QR code on your screen. We'll be right back.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Welcome back to Unscripted. The Emmett County Sheriff's Office sounding the alarm today to bring awareness to several apps that could compromise personal data and be a platform for cyberbullying. We'll have that story for you to be able to catch if you missed it on our website, UpNorthLive.com. Our question of the day did come from this story. Our question today is, do you monitor what apps your children use? As of right now, 76% of people saying yes, 24% saying no. Thank you for voting. And as always, thanks for joining us for Unscripted. Have a great night.